Welcome to Cardiometabolic Beat, brought to you by the Cardiometabolic Health Congress. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Linda Shiue. Dr. Shiue is an internist, professionally trained chef in the Department of Adult and Family Medicine at Kaiser Permanente San Francisco, where she is also the Director of Culinary Medicine. And her recent cookbook, Spicebox Kitchen, Eat Well and Be Healthy with globally inspired vegetable-forward recipes, is a household necessity. Welcome, Dr. Shiue.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. So as faculty for both A4M and CMHC, how do you think integrative strategies such as your area of expertise in culinary medicine can complement cardiometabolic disease management?
I think that integrative strategies that allow the patient to have a bigger role in how they care for themselves is key. Not only does it, I think, improve engagement and adherence to other therapies that we might offer them from the medical standpoint, it's just addressing things which we can't really address through standard medicine.
Okay. And the collaboration between A4M and CMHC at the Spring 2022 Congress is an exciting blend of multidisciplinary practitioners that may not cross paths otherwise. Beyond the faculty presentations, is there more valuable clinical information gained through networking among the attendees?
I think this is a really unique conference for me to attend, where there are many different types of attendees, including the exhibitors, including non-doctor healthcare professionals, and people who have expertise in things that I don't see every day in the office. So I think it's a really great opportunity.
Yeah, that's great. So tell us a little bit about your keynote address and your live cooking demo. It's amazing.
Yeah, so my address is titled Culinary Medicine as a Clinical Intervention. And I really like to think of this field of culinary medicine as something as important as writing a prescription for pills, and possibly even as important as doing something like a cardiac stent, because hopefully by preventing that need, we'll have made that big intervention. Yeah, so in my talk, I'll be going over how to implement strategies in culinary medicine, whether or not you're going to actually teach your patients how to cook, because I do that, but that's not for everybody. But strategies that you can still use in the office setting to help your patients in ways that you may not have done before.
So do you give recipes to your patients, or do you just recommend your cookbook?
Yeah, no, so I definitely have been recommending recipes now for 10 years. And initially, I still had a paper prescription pad and I would write them out. But I've actually harnessed the electronic health record, which we all have a love-hate relationship with, and using the power of that to actually save a few recipes that I can just basically send out automatically to patients after I've done seeing them. So definitely, I do that, and I invite them to take my cooking classes.
Oh, very cool. There's some controversy on the production and use of plant-based meat substitutes. Should people try to recreate foods like hamburger with non-meat alternatives, or just embrace the wide range of plant foods in their own form?
So I will say yes to both of those. So mainly, I really encourage whole foods, plant foods in their native form, and maybe taking a stepwise approach where if you're a hamburger lover, for example, and you don't want to have some of these meat substitutes, by blending half of it with chopped mushrooms, for example, will actually really enhance the flavor, maybe even make it taste a little bit better, and reduce the amount of meat you're eating. I think that some of the plant-based meat substitutes have a role for those real meat lovers as a bridge, so that they get used to eating something that isn't meat. But overall, I still favor real whole foods.
Those are some great tips. Thank you. Can you share some other of your favorite culinary ingredients?
So I think the main thing I like to encourage people is to just really embrace flavor. Start with flavor first when you're cooking. And even, no matter what it is, whether it is completely plant-based or somewhere in between, using the power of herbs and spices, which have a lot of nutrients and a lot of antioxidants and other health properties, not just for flavor, but to kind of enhance the health of whatever you're cooking.
What's your favorite spice to add to your recipes?
People always ask me that question, and it's so hard for me to answer. But I would say that I think I use... Well, garlic is a really common one for savory cooking that I use a lot of. So I'm going to add a few more.
Yeah, sure.
I also really like cumin, which is used in a lot of different cuisines around the world because it adds an earthy flavor. It also is a source of iron and helps with digestion. So I think those are two standard spices in my everyday cooking. And by using spices like that, you can also reduce the amount of salt that you add, which is important for a lot of people.
Yes, that makes sense. Is there any Do you have any other tips and tricks health-wise to share with our audience today?
I think my biggest trick is just make it really simple. Make small changes, and over time you may actually find that your palate changes and that your appetite develops in a way that you appreciate more healthy foods, without having to overload yourself in the very beginning with saying, a complete change from how you're already eating.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
And don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and leave us 5 stars.